Hello friends, welcome to Geography MCQ session. So from this episode, we are starting the Geography MCQ question paper discussion. So we will start the Physical Geography, World Geography and end up with the Indian Geography. So all these questions will be based on the NCERT and some applied questions. So we have planned for the complete 1000 MCQs. We have planned for the 40 episodes. Each episode will be having the 25 MCQs. So it will cover the 1000 questions from the complete geography, both physical, world and Indian geography. So myself Tharun Kumar are author, Atlas Geography through Maps. Let's start the session. The first question, what does the color of a star indicate in it? The keyword here is the color of a star. The options here are again A. Illumination, B. Temperature and age, C. Distance from the earth and D. Distance from the sun. Let's see the discussions. First we shall know what is a star. What is a star? The self-illuminating objects in the universe are called as stars. Why they are self-illuminating? Because of the thermonuclear fusion reaction occurring at their core. What is thermonuclear fusion reaction? Because of the excess temperature, two molecules of hydrogen fuse and turn into helium. This process is called as thermonuclear fusion reaction. So that's why in this process they will emit heat and light. That's why they are self-illuminating. So again, stars are mainly composed of the hydrogen 91%, helium almost 8%, 8.5%. Remaining 0.5% are the heavier elements. So here we are seeing the different stars with different color. So the stars with blue color indicates their youth stage. The youth stage with high temperature. Again, when they are going to the mature stage or the medium stage, so in the transition phase they will be under the bluish white color, and in the mature stage they will having the yellow color. Yellow color means the medium stage, and the temperature will be usually 6000 degrees Celsius. It's a surface temperature. So our sun is also having the yellowish color surface, so its surface temperature is 6000. Next, when they are in the end stage or the end stage of their life cycle, they will turn into red color. Red color indicates their old stage and the very low temperature. So we got the answer. Let's go back to the question. So the color of a star indicates its temperature and age. Okay. Next question. What is it called when stars are formed in a certain shape in a group? So here the keyword is stars and their certain shape in a group. We have options A. Solar system, B. Milky Way, C. Galaxy and D. Oort cloud. Let's see the discussion. See, we know that stars are the self-illuminating objects, and the group of stars is called as galaxy. Okay, group of stars is called as galaxy. The word galaxy is derived from the galactose. Galactose, a protein found in the milk. So our own galaxy is called as Milky Way. So the galactose is the glucose found in the milk. So from this galactose word, the word galaxy has been derived. So based on the shape and size, we classify the galaxies into different types. So our own Milky Way galaxy, it is in a spiral shape. Some of the galaxies will be in elliptical shape, and some other galaxies with no proper shape, we call them as the irregular galaxies. Clear? So when stars are formed in a certain shape in a group, we call them as the galaxies. So our own galaxy is called as Milky Way. So solar system refers to a star along with its planets. So our sun along with 8 planets, we call them as the stars. So what is Oort cloud? Oort cloud refers to the dusty particles and the snow materials which are surrounding the solar system at the end of the Kuiper belt. We call it as the Oort cloud. Next question. All the celestial bodies in the universe are revolving around one another. The main cause of it is the. So here the question says all the celestial bodies in the universe, be it a planet or a star or a satellite, it is revolving one or the other. So what is the main reason for it? So we have a option A, magnetic power, B, the escape velocity, C both A and B, D gravitational force. Let's see the explanation. So here first we should know what is gravity. Again we know that gravitation is the natural force which attracts the objects based on the mass. So in our solar system, Sun occupies almost 99.98% of the mass in the solar system. So because of its excess mass, it is having the high amount of gravity. So all our 8 planets along with their satellites, they are under the gravitational influence of the Sun. So they are revolving around the Sun. Even the Sun is also not constant. Sun is a very minor star. It is a part of the Milky Way galaxy. So Sun is also revolving around the Milky Way galaxy. So the answer is gravitational force. Okay, so option D is the correct one. So which of the following element found abundantly in the universe? Okay, options: A helium, B nitrogen, C oxygen, and D hydrogen. Let's see the explanation. So universe refers to totality of everything, that is nothing but the galaxies and the stars, the solar system, and the minor small solar system bodies, even the satellites, etc. So we know that universe is mainly made up of the galaxies, that is nothing but the constellation of stars. So we know that again stars are mainly composed of the hydrogen and helium. Within this hydrogen and helium, 91% is the hydrogen. So when the stars are made up of the galaxies and the stars main composition is hydrogen, certainly the universe is majoritarily made up of the hydrogen. Okay. So the correct option is D hydrogen. Next question. The theory of the Big Bang explains the origin of the universe. When did this Big Bang occur around? The options are again A 14 billion years ago, B 20 billion years ago, C 36 billion years ago, and D 52 billion years ago. So Big Bang. The word Big Bang refers to big explosion. First of all, there are good number of theories related to explaining the origin of the universe, out of which again the most popular one is the Big Bang and second one is the nebular hypothesis. These two hypotheses are universally accepted. So this Big Bang theory says that the present day universe, what we are seeing, the good number of galaxies, stars, planets, all they were united together in a single point of object. So this single point of object, because of its excess density, got exploded like this, which he called as the Big Bang. So this Big Bang theory, it was given by scientist called Georges Lee Maitri. So according to him, because of this Big Bang only, around 14 billion years ago, because of this Big Bang, the universe got created. Even from that time only, the space and the matter, even the time also created. So because of this Big Bang explosion, the whatever all the matter present inside, it got unevenly distributed throughout the universe. So after some time, gradually the temperature decreased due to chemical reaction. The positively and negatively charged elements got united, turned into different elements. Again, they grew up into big nebulas. That is nothing but the gaseous clouds, from which again the solar system evolved. So around 14 billion years ago, first Big Bang took place. So after that, around 6 billion years ago, stars were formed. Around 4 billion years ago, 4 to 4.5 billion years ago, planets were formed. Within that, even our Earth was also one. Again, on the Earth, around 3.5 billion years ago, oceans were evolved. Again, within the oceans, first life started around 3 billion years ago. Clear? So the correct option here is the 14 billion years ago. Okay. Next question. Who propounded the nebular hypothesis? Okay, options here again: Immanuel Kant and Laplace, B. Christophe Fossi, C. John Macquarrie, and D. None of the above. Let's see the discussion. See, word nebular hypothesis. The word nebula refers to complex gaseous cloud. Complex gaseous cloud. Why it is called as complex gaseous cloud? Because it was not made up of just one or two gases. It was made up of a good number of gases, mainly the hydrogen, helium. These are very light elements. Then carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, xenon, krypton, etc. These are the heavier elements. Even along with these gases, it was also made up of the dust particles, even some rocky debris. So this was the nebular hypothesis. So from this nebula, again the present day solar system has been evolved. So this theory was given by Immanuel Kant, and even one more person, Laplace. These two persons given the Immanuel Kant was the original propounder of this theory. Again, later it was slightly modified by the person called Laplace. So in the year almost 1755, they proposed this theory. So the correct option here it is A, Immanuel Kant and Laplace. Next question. Which of the following pairs is correctly matched? List A and list B. List A refers to the persons. A, James Runnell, father of American geography. B, Frederick Herschel. To here the option is father of human geography. And C, William Morris Davis. 3 here it is the father of Indian geography. So which pair is correctly matched? The question asking here is. So let's see the discussion. First of all, Frederick Herschel. He is called as the father of human geography because he studied the human settlements and gave a brief report regarding the human settlements around the earth. Next person is called as the James Runnell. James Runnell is called as the father of Indian geography. Even he is also called as the father of oceanography. Why is called so? See, James Runnell, he was the Surveyor General of India during the colonial period, British administrative time period. So first of all, he prepared the first map of the British India. When the Kolkata was the capital of India, he prepared the first British Indian map and even the complete Indian map. In that period, he also calculated the coastal area of the India. So during that time, one of the person called Mr. Robert Park, he was the Governor General of the Madras province. So he was the friend of the James Runnell. So he provided the technical assistance and even some manpower for the James Runnell surveying work. So in order to honor the Robert Park's help, a minor water body between India and Sri Lanka is named as the Park Strait. So it is named after the Robert Park. So next is William Morris Davis. He is called as the father of American geography. Again, he is the American geographer, geologist, geomorphologist and meteorologist. His main contribution is the cycle of erosion regarding how the rivers create the landforms. So first of all, we should know study about rivers is called as potomology. And the landforms created by the rivers is called as fluvial landforms. So let's get back to the question. So here you got the explanation. So James Runnell is called as the father of Indian geography. Frederick Herschel is called as the father of American geography. So only this point is correctly matched. So William Morris Davis is called as the father of American geography. So these two are wrongly matched. Only Frederick Herschel is the correct option, which is rightly matched. So options here: A, 2 only, 1 only, C, 1 and 2, and D all are correct. So option is only 2 only is correct. That is father of human geography is Frederick Herschel. Next question: who wrote the book Meteorologic? Okay, options here again: A, Pythagoras, B, Philolaus, C, Aristotle, and D, none of the above. Let's see the explanation. So this is the book written by the Aristotle. Aristotle has written the book called Meteorologica. So study about atmosphere is called as meteorology, and Aristotle gave the title Meteorologica. So we know that within the atmosphere we come across the words to weather and the climate. What is weather? Weather refers to day-to-day changes in the atmospheric conditions like temperature, rainfall, wind and pressure in the certain location. That is called as weather. If these weather conditions of a particular region remains constant for or take an average up to 30 to 35 years, then we call it as the climate. Study about climate is called climatology. Study about atmosphere in general is called as meteorology. Okay. So in India, we call it as the India experiences the tropical monsoon type of climate. What is the meaning of tropical monsoon? That means out of 12 months, 4 months will receive the rainfall. That is only during the southwest monsoon rainfall. From June, July, August, September, we receive the heavy rainfall. So remaining 8 months, it will be heavy sunshine. That's why India is called as the having the tropical monsoon type of climate. Okay. So here the correct option is A. C. Aristotle is the correct option. Next question. Which of the following sentences are incorrect in relation to the theory of nebula? Okay. So again, it is related to theory of nebula. So here the first statement says a nebula is a cloud of complex gases. 2. The least denser gases were at the periphery and the highest density gases were at the center. 3. Stars were formed by the process of nuclear fusion. And 4. Low density objects and the dust particles combine to form the planets. Okay. So let's see the explanation of the nebular hypothesis. Again, we know that nebular hypothesis, it was proposed by a scientist called Immanuel Kant in the year 1755. Later, it was modified by the Laplace. So this nebula refers to complex gaseous cloud. See, initially it was in a almost roughly rounded shape. So due to its internal gravity, this nebula started to rotate. Due to continuous rotation, it attained this flat shape. This flat shape is called as the accretion disk. Accretion disk. So from this disc shaped nebula, again now the centripetal force started to apply. The centripetal force refers to attraction towards the center. So here the low density gases like the hydrogen and helium, they started to accumulate at the center. So over a period of time, due to continuous accumulation, there was a friction between these elements, mainly the hydrogen and helium. Due to continuous friction, the temperature increased. So once the temperature started to increase, two molecules of hydrogen started to unite and turn into helium. So in this process, again, they started emitting excess amount of heat and light. That again further intensified the nuclear fusion reaction, so which eventually gave birth to the formation of a star. So this initial stage of the star formation is called as protostar. Our sun also born in the same way. So once the star formation began, next it started to release some energy. Okay. So at the periphery of this nebula, the high density elements like the carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, krypton, and even some dust particles, even the rocky debris, they started to unite. So once they started to accumulate, they initially formed a planet stage. So that initial stage of the planet's formation is called as protoplanet. Protoplanet. The rocky debris which got united and turned into planets, they were called as the planetesimals. Planetesimals. So the word planetesimals refers to the building blocks of the planets. Okay. So this is how the planets got originated. So this nebular hypothesis mainly explains the origination of the solar system. Let's go back to the question. So now nebula is a cloud of complex gases. This statement is correct. Next, here the least denser gases were at the periphery and the highest density gases were at the center. So this statement is again contradictory, because within the accretion disk, the light density gases were at the center, but the high density gases were at the periphery. So that's why this statement is wrong. Next, stars were formed by the process of nuclear fusion reaction. Again we discussed, this is correct. Next, fourth statement, low density objects and the dust particles combined to form the planets. Though the dust particles and the rocky debris united to form the planets, but not with the low density gases, it was the high density like the carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, even xenon, krypton, etc. So that's why fourth statement is also wrong. So the question is asking which statement is incorrect. So we know that first statement is correct and the third statement is correct. Only 2 and 4 are incorrect. That means option D is correct. Only 2 and 4 are incorrect. Let's move to next question. Which of the theory tells us about the present universe is expanding? Okay, so the question is very simple. Which theory of the following one says that universe is expanding? The first option is A, nebular theory, B. Tidal theory, C. Both A and B, and D. The theory of Big Bang. Okay, so let's go back to the explanation. So again, there were good number of theories were proposed by the different scientists regarding the how the universe has been originated, but most of them have failed. But only the proven and accepted theory is the Big Bang, and next one is the nebular hypothesis. Though nebular hypothesis was confined to the explaining the origin of the solar system, but only the Big Bang, it was much universally accepted that this theory explains the universe is also expanding. So again, we know that around 14 billion years ago this Big Bang took place. So from this Big Bang, the matter which was present inside, it got completely unevenly distributed throughout the universe. So because of the uneven distribution only, the matter, based on that, again the gravity also applied. That means there were some stars which are bigger in size because of the huge mass accumulation, and there are some minor stars like Sun which are having the very less mass. So because of this, again this theory says that the universe is expanding. How we can think about that? So if you take a balloon, so on that balloon, if we mark some points, if we keep on feeding with the air or filling with the air, so the balloon gets enlarged and the distance between these stars or the points also gets expanded. So according to this theory, the universe is expanding. That means the distance between the stars and the galaxy is also increasing. Okay. So from the explanation, we know that nebular theory explains the only origin of the universe, but not the tidal theory. So not even the both A and B, just it is only the theory of Big Bang. Again, we should know that the theory of Big Bang, it was proposed by again Georges Lee Maitre. This theory was proposed in the year 1930. So before that, in the year 1925, Sir Albert Einstein, he proposed his theory of relativity. So based on the theory of relativity, this Big Bang theory was proposed. Okay. Next question. Who demonstrated that there are constellations other than our Milky Way galaxy? Options are again A. Edwin P. Hubble, B. G. Kuiper, C. H. Halfven, and D. Sir James Jeans. Let's see the explanation. So even the first theory related to explaining the shape and size of the earth or the location of the earth was the geocentric theory. It was proposed by a scientist called Ptolemy in the year 150 BC. Okay, he proposed this theory. So according to this theory, he says earth is at the center of the universe. Even the star, sun and the other remaining planets are revolving around the earth. But later it was disproven. That was in the year 1543 when Copernicus proposed his theory of heliocentric. So heliocentric theory refers to sun is at the center of the universe. Again, all the planets including earth are revolving around the sun. But for this heliocentric theory, one more amendment was given by a student called Kepler. He said that sun is at the center of the solar system but not the universe. Even our sun is also a part of the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, so till 1920, till that time, we were knowing that we are staying alone in the Milky Way galaxy. We were not aware about the other constellations or the galaxies found in the apart from the Milky Way galaxy. But this person called Edwin P. Hubble, okay, Edwin P. Hubble, he demonstrated that there are good number of galaxies apart from the Milky Way because of the telescopic view. So Edwin Hubble is the telescope named after him. Okay. So here the correct option is Edwin P. Hubble. Okay. Next question. Which of the following sentences are correct with respect to the constellation of Milky Way? Okay. So again the options are: first statement, its diameter is about 10,000 light years large and is home to our solar system. Next, our solar system is located at a distance of 1/3 and has been revolving over 150 million years. Next statement, our sun is a medium-sized star in this constellation. Okay, so let's go back to the explanation. See, this is a Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system is a part of it. So the length of the or diameter of the Milky Way galaxy is 1 lakh light years. 1 lakh light year. So what is light year? The distance traveled by light in 1 year duration, we call it as a light year. We know that light travels at a speed of 3 lakhs kilometer per second. So in that sense, what is the distance traveled by light in 1 year duration? We call it as light year, because the distance between the celestial bodies like the sun and the earth, the different planets, it is very difficult to measure in kilometers. That's why we use the unit light years. So the diameter of the Milky Way galaxy is light year. So circumference is full measurement, but the diameter is half of the one side. So half of the diameter is radius. So but here the radius of the Milky Way galaxy is 1 lakh light years. So we know that our again solar system is a part of the Milky Way galaxy. So from the center it is located at a 1/3 distance. So our solar system is also not constant. It is also moving around the Milky Way galaxy at a rate of 8 lakhs kilometers per hour. 8 lakh kilometers per hour. So it will take almost 250 million years to go one complete revolution around the Milky Way galaxy. So that duration we call it as one cosmic year. Okay. So again the options here again, it says that Milky Way galaxy's diameter is 10,000 light years. No, it is 1 lakh light year. That's why this statement becomes wrong. But our solar system is a part of this one, correct. But half statement is wrong. Next, our solar system is located at a distance of 1/3 and has been revolving around 150 million years. No, this is 250 million years, and the duration we call it as one cosmic year. So this statement is also wrong. Next, our sun is a medium-sized star in this constellation. Certainly right. Our sun is a very medium star in this constellation. So only third statement is correct. So here the question is asking which statement is correct. So only third statement, C only is correct. Okay. Next question. If the time is 12 noon in Greenwich meridian, then what will be the time near the 82.5 west longitude? So options again: A 7:30 a.m., B 6:30 a.m., C 6:30 p.m. and D 5:30 p.m. Let's see the explanation. Okay. So this line is called as the prime meridian or the Greenwich meridian line, which passes through the London. So this longitude line which divides the globe into two hemispheres. This one is called as the eastern hemisphere and this one is called as the western hemisphere. So we know that on the globe we have a 360 longitudes. These longitudes are most helpful in calculating the time. We know that Earth rotates from west to east. That's why the sun appears to be rising in the east and setting in the west. So that's why the eastern hemisphere will receive first sunlight. That's why the time will be ahead in the eastern hemisphere and bit slower in the western hemisphere. Again, the sunrise will take exactly 4 minutes to cross the each longitude. That means to cross the each 15 longitudes, it will take exactly 60 minutes or 1 hour. So in that case, in the eastern hemisphere, time will be ahead. That means for every 15 longitudes, the 1 hour time increases in the eastern hemisphere. Similarly, in the western hemisphere, the time keeps on decreasing. So each longitude in the eastern hemisphere are marked with a E. That means eastern longitude. So 15 longitude, 30, multiples are 15, 45, next 60 and 75 and finally let's say 90. So here our India, it is located, we have a Indian standard time 82.5 east longitude. This decides our Indian local time. So for every 15 longitudes, 1 hour time increases in the eastern hemisphere. That means if it is 12 noon in the London, it will be 1 p.m. in the 15 longitude, 2 p.m. in the 30 longitude, 3 p.m. in the 45, 4 in the 60, 5 in the 75 longitude and 6 in the 90. So here we have the 82.5 east. That means our Indian time is 5 hours 30 minutes ahead from the Greenwich London. So in the opposite condition, in the western hemisphere, certainly 15 longitude west, 30, 45, 75 and 90. So again, in the western hemisphere, for every 15 longitudes, 1 hour time decreases. Again, here it is 12 noon. In the 15, it will be 11 a.m. In the 30, it will be 10 a.m. In the 45, it will be 9 a.m. In the 60, it will be 8 a.m. In the 75, it will be 7 a.m. And in the 90, it will be 6 a.m. The question here is 82.5 west longitude, what will be the time? So we know that in the 90 it is 6 o'clock, but in the 75 it is 7 o'clock. So in between the 90 and 75 we have a 82.5, so that will be 6:30 a.m. Okay, so in the 82.5 west longitude it will be early morning 6:30 a.m. in the countries like the USA and Canada. In the London it will be midday 12 noon, and in the India it will be 5:30 p.m. evening. Okay. So we know that again AM refers to anti-meridian and PM refers to post-meridian. When the longitude sun experiences the vertical sun rays, so from that we calculate the prime meridian as the, so from the after 12 o'clock only the AM and the PM changes. Let's see the, if it is 12 noon in the Greenwich meridian, 82.5 west longitude will be, it is exactly be 6:30 a.m. Okay. So next question, which of the following planet is rolling like a ball instead of revolving? Okay. So again, option A Venus, B Uranus, C Mars, and D Neptune. See, within our solar system we have 8 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Out of these 8 planets, except Mercury, almost all the planets have tilt in their axis. Most of the scientists have an opinion that during the planets formation, most of the planets got collided with their neighboring objects, and even some of the solar winds which are came from the sun also made the planets to tilt in their axis. So again we know that Earth is having 23.5 degree tilt in its axis. Out of these 8 planets, Uranus has the highest angle of tilt, that is almost 98 degree. So because of its high angle of tilt, its rotation appears to be rolling. Okay. So option here is the Uranus. Okay. Next question, 15th one. Escape velocity of the Earth equal to this. Again option A 11.19 km per second, B 11.12 km per second, C 10.28 km per second, and D 10.19 km per second. Let's see the explanation. First of all, escape velocity. What is escape velocity? So the definition says it is the minimum speed required for an object to escape from the Earth's gravity. Okay, the escape velocity depends on the gravity of the planet. This escape velocity is not constant for all the planets. It depends. It differs from one planet to another. So here the formula is in this way: escape velocity equals to 2gm by r. So the g refers to universal gravitational constant, m refers to mass of the Earth, and r refers to radius of the Earth. The gravity is not constant, or the gravitational force is not constant on the Earth in all the throughout the Earth. Again, the gravity of the Earth also differs from place to place. We know that the Earth is having more gravity in the polar areas compared to the equator. Why it is so? Because the Earth, it is in a geoid shape. What is the meaning of geoid shape? Due to continuous rotation, Earth is flat at the equatorial region, and so Earth is bulge at the equatorial region and flat near the polar areas. So because of this, polar areas are very closer to the Earth's core region, which is rich with the nickel and iron content. So that's why polar areas are having the highest gravitational force compared to the equatorial region. So because the equator is bit far away from the core region, that's why because of the high rotational speed and the very low gravitation, usually the satellites are preferred to launch from the equatorial region. So escape velocity refers to minimum speed required for an object to escape from the Earth's gravity. Okay. So here the correct option is 11.19 km per second. Next question. Why do people suggest not to face north while sleeping? Again, it's a applied question. Usually, in most of the times, our answers is to suggest that not to face while sleeping. Let's see the options. Why? First one, A, more gravity in the North Pole. B, more Coriolis force in the North Pole. C, high rotational speed in the polar areas. And D, more magnetic field in the North Pole. Let's see the explanation. Again, it is the continued portion of the previous question. We know that Earth is in a geoid shape. So, because of the high rotational speed near the equator, the Earth is bit bulge in the equatorial region and it is bit flat in the polar areas. That's why the polar areas are having the highest gravity compared to the equatorial region. That's why we are lying in India in the northern hemisphere. So, that's why we are not supposed to face north while sleeping because of the excess gravity. See, when we are standing, our blood circulation will be normal, but when we are sleeping, our blood circulation may exceed in the brain region. So, the brain cells are very minute or very thin. If there is a sudden blood circulation, it may lead to hemorrhage. The person may get die. That's why, because of this reason only, peoples of the northern hemisphere are not supposed to face north, and peoples of the southern hemisphere, they are not supposed to face southern pole during their sleep. That's all. So, option is more gravity in the North Pole. So, for the peoples of the northern hemisphere, they are not supposed to face north, and peoples of the southern hemisphere, they are not supposed to face south during sleeping. That's all. Next question. Currently, the largest star in the universe. Which is the largest star in the universe? Options again. A, the Sun. B, Vy Canis Major. C, Uy Scuti. And D, none of the above. So, we know that stars are the self-illuminating objects in the universe. Again, stars are also differing in size. So, previously, we were knowing that Vy Canis Major was the largest. So, after that again, recently we have discovered that Uy Scuti is the largest star in the universe or even in the Milky Way galaxy so far known. So, our Sun is a very minor star. Compared to the Uy Scuti, Sun is nowhere. It is appearing like a small point in front of the big rock boulder. Okay. So, our Sun is a very minor star. So far known biggest star in the universe or the Milky Way galaxy is Uy Scuti. Okay. It is close together, bigger than the Sun. So, option here is Uy Scuti is the biggest star in the universe, not the Sun, not the Vy Canis Major. The Canis Major ranks second to the Uy Scuti. Next question. Arrange the following elements on the basis of their atomic number in the increasing order. Okay. So, here the options are A, 1 silicon, 2 sulfur, 3 argon and 4 calcium. So, arrange the following elements in the increasing order again based on their atomic number. We know that in the periodic table we have a 118 known elements. Okay, again these are arranged based on their atomic number. So, first we know that hydrogen ranks first one and helium in the second position. So, the option silicon is having the atomic number 14, next sulfur is 16, next argon is 18 and calcium is 20. So, again it is in the increasing order. So, silicon is 14, sulfur is 16, argon is 18 and calcium is 20. So, it is all in the increasing order only. So, option B 1, 2, 3, 4 is the correct one. Next question. What are the gases used in the domestic LPG cylinder? Okay. Option A, krypton and xenon. B, hydrogen and helium. C, butane and propane. And D, propane and argon. Let's see the explanation. So, LPG refers to liquefied petroleum gas. So, within this gas cylinder, the main composition is the butane and propane. Okay, butane and propane are the main composition in the LPG cylinder, and these two gases are odorless gases. That means they do not they don't release any foul smell during their leakage. So, butane and propane are basically odorless gases. That's why in order to identify the leakage of the LPG cylinder, a artificial chemical called ethyl mercaptan is added. Ethyl mercaptan is added in order to identify the gas leakage. Okay. So option is here C. Butane and propane is the correct one. Next question. With respect to the timings, what is the Sanskrit meaning for the words AM and PM? Okay. So we know that in English word AM refers to anti-meridian and PM refers to post-meridian. But here the question is demanding Sanskrit meaning for the AM and PM. First option A, Arohanam Martandasya and Patanam Martandasya. Option B, Advaita Martandasya and Parshva Martandasya. C, Agnihotra Martandasya and Pradakshina Martandasya. And D, Aditya Madanam and Pratiksha Madanam. Let's see the explanation. So in Sanskrit, the sun is called as Martanda. Okay, Martanda. So in order to mention AM refers to anti-meridian. That means once the sun crosses vertically from any longitude, we measure the time is as PM. So before that it will be AM. So AM refers to Arohanam Martandasya. So Arohanam refers to rising sun. Arohanam refers to rising sun, and the word Patanam refers to falling or setting. Okay. So the word Patanam refers to sunset or the post meridian, and the AM refers to Arohanam Martandasya, means the sun is rising and till it comes vertically on any particular longitude, we measure it as the AM. That means rising sun, and after once it crosses the any particular longitude exactly on the head, so we use the word Patanam Martandasya. So the correct option is A, Arohanam Martandasya and Patanam Martandasya. Next question. Which of the following sentences are correct with respect to the force of gravity? Okay. So option, first statement says that two objects of different mass and the average distance between them indicates the gravitational force. Second statement, the gravimeter is used to measure the force of gravity. And third one, it is more near the Earth's equator because of the high speed of rotation. So let's see the explanation. Again, we know that gravitational force is the natural force which attracts the objects based on the mass. So objects with high mass will be having the more gravity compared to the lesser one. Similarly, Earth is the bigger, having the highest mass compared to the moon. That's why Earth is having the gravitational influence over the moon. That's why moon is revolving around the Earth. So compared to the sun, Earth is having the very less gravity. So because Earth comes under the gravitational influence of the sun, so Earth is revolving around the sun. So again, gravitational force can be defined as the m1 into m2 by r square. That means mass between two different objects and the relative distance between them will decide the gravitational force. Okay. Again, the gravimeter is the instrument used to measure the gravitational speed. So according to the explanation, two objects of different mass and the average distance between them indicates the gravitational force. This statement is absolutely correct. Next, again, gravimeter is the instrument used to measure the force of gravity. This statement is also correct. Next, on the Earth, the gravity is more near the Earth's equator because of the high speed of rotation. Again, as we discussed in the previous questions, gravity on the Earth is more near the polar areas compared to the equator because Earth is in a geoid shape. That means bulge near the equator and flat near the polar areas. So Earth equatorial region is bit far away from the core region, but the polar areas are very closer to the Earth's core. That's why it is more near the polar areas compared to equator. That's why third statement becomes wrong. So here the question is asking which sentences are correct. It is only 1 and 2. Okay, so option B is correct. Next question. What is the average life expectancy of a star in general? Okay, so it is the question about the stars and their life expectancy. Option A, 25 billion years, B, 30 billion years, C, 10 billion years, and D, 100 billion years. Let's see the life cycle of a star. Again, we know that star is a self-illuminating object in the universe. Stars are mainly born from the stellar nebula. Nebula is a complex gaseous cloud. So based on the mass they have accumulated, so based on that, stars will be classified as minor star, average star, and a major star. So stars in their U stage they will be in the blue color. When they are in the medium stage, they will be red color. So during their medium stage or before entering the final stage, the star starts to expand. So that stage we call them as the red giant. And after that, they may end up as a white dwarf or the black dwarf. If the stars are bigger in size, so they get exploded and turn into stellar nebula or even the neutron star or a black hole. So two forces will be dominatingly simultaneously occurring in the stars. That is, we know that the thermonuclear fusion reaction will be occurring at their core. So that's why due to thermonuclear fusion reaction, the heat and light will be releasing. So that causes the the stars to expand because of the outward pushing force. But again, stars are also having the huge amount of gravity. So because of the gravity, they try to squeeze themselves and turn into very smaller in size. So that is the inward pulling force. So one side it is outward pushing force and another side it is the inward pulling force. Both these forces get cancel each other and the size and shape of a star remain same. So this stage we call it as the hydrostatic equilibrium. That means both the forces are acting neutrally and the size and shape of a star remain same. So till here almost all the stars undergo the same life cycle. But one point of time, one of the force gets dominant and other one becomes the very weak. We know that hydrogen fuel, it keeps on decreasing after some point of time. So that in that case, when the hydrogen fuel is getting over, the nuclear fusion reaction also, it gradually decreases. That's why the outward pushing force becomes weak and the inward pushing force becomes dominant. So in that case, the stars, they keeps on reducing in their size. So due to continuous squeezing, the density inside the or at the core of the stars, it increases. Due to excess density at one point of time, the stars get exploded. If the stars are more than 1.4 times the mass of the sun, they get exploded and turn into either neutron star or a black hole. The state of explosion, we call them as the supernova explosion. If the stars are less than our sun, that means 1.4 times the less than our sun, so it will end up as a white dwarf or the black dwarf. So the thermonuclear fusion reaction usually takes up to 10 billion years. After that, the outward pushing force becomes weak and the inward pushing force of the stars becomes dominant. So they come to a very smaller size at one point of time. Due to excess density, and they get explode. Clear? So 10 billion years is the average life expectancy of a star. So in human beings, we usually say 68 to 70 years is the average time. The options we have: A 25 billion years, B 30 billion years, C 10 billion years, and D 100 billion years. The correct option is C, 10 billion years is the average life expectancy of a star. Next question: which of the following sentences is correct? All stars change into black holes at their last stage. Second statement: the size of a stars determines their last stage. All the black holes were once stars. Fourth statement: since the sun is so large that it too may become a black hole someday. Okay. Let's see again stars and their life cycle. We know that stars are the self-illuminating objects in the universe. So based on the mass or the size, we classify the stars into minor star, average star, and the major star. Okay. So in that case, the minor stars, just like our sun, they will be having at the end of their life cycle, they will turn into either black dwarf or the white dwarf. Black dwarf or the white dwarf. But the stars with more than 1.4 times the mass of the sun, they will undergo explosion. That is called as the supernova explosion. So after the supernova explosion, either they may turn into neutron star or the black hole. So to turn into either black hole or a neutron star, star must be at least 1.4 times the mass of the sun. Our benchmark is the sun. We take the benchmark as the sun. So from the sun, it should be at least more than 1.4 times the mass of our sun. Then only it can turn either as a neutron star or a black hole. Okay. So all the stars will never turn into black holes. Only the stars with size more than 1.4 times the mass of our sun will turn into either black hole or a neutron star. So our sun can never turn into black hole because it is a very minor star. So it can end up as either black dwarf or a white dwarf. So option again, all stars change into black holes at their last stage. So this statement becomes wrong because only the stars with size more than 1.4 times the mass of our sun can turn into black hole. Next, the size of the stars determine their last stage. Certainly it is true statement because the stars with more than 1.4 times the mass of the sun will end up as a neutron star or a black hole. So less than this, they will end up as a black dwarf or the white dwarf. So this statement is correct. Next, all the black holes were once a stars. Certainly right. So only the stars can turn into black holes. So that's why all the stars will never turn into black holes, but all the black holes were once a stars. This statement is also again correct. Next, since the sun is so large that it too may become a black hole in some day. So this statement is wrong because any star to turn into a black hole, the minimum limit is 1.4 times the mass of sun. The sun is the minimum limit. So because that, so sun can never turn into black hole. It will end up as either black dwarf or a white dwarf. So this statement is also wrong. So the question is asking which statement is correct. So we know that only 2 and 3 are correct and the 1 and 4 are incorrect. Okay. So option 2 and 3 are incorrect. Option A says 2 and 3 and B 1 and 4, C 1, 3 and 4 and all of the above. So no, only option 2 and 3 are correct. Next question, the speed of light per second. What is the speed of light per second? Option A 5 lakh kilometer per second, B 8 lakh kilometer per second, C 3 lakh kilometer per second and D 4 lakh kilometer per second. Let's see the explanation. Again we know that light travels at a speed of 3 lakh kilometer per second. Roughly, round figurely we say 3 lakh kilometer per second, but actually it is 2,99,792 kilometer per second. So the sunlight will take almost 8 minutes to reach the earth. So in terms of the light, we can say 8 light minutes is taken by the sunlight to reach the earth. Again, the distance between earth and moon is average 4 lakh kilometers. So with respect to time or with respect to the light, we can say it is 1.3 light seconds is the distance between earth and moon. And with respect to the earth and Mars, it is 12.7 light minutes. And with respect to earth and the Alpha Centauri, it is 4.4 light years. And finally, the distance between the earth and the farmost side of the Milky Way galaxy is 52,000 light years. Okay, so light travels at a speed of 3 lakhs kilometer per second is the correct option. Okay, so option 3 is the correct one, 3 lakhs kilometers per second. Next question, 1 light years equal to, again related to light only. Option A 8.461 into 10 to the power of 12, B 9.461 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers, C 8.641 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers and D 9.641 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers. Again we know that light travels at a speed of 3 lakhs kilometers per second, 3 lakhs kilometers per second. In that case, the light year refers to distance traveled by light in 1 year duration. That means light for every second it is 3 lakhs kilometers per second, for 60 seconds and for 60 minutes and for 24 hours of a single day and up to 365 days. So what is the distance traveled by light in 1 year duration? We call it as the light year. Again I am telling, light year is the measurement of distance but not the duration. Okay, so why this light year is used? Because the distance between the celestial bodies, it will be in lakhs of kilometers. That's why it is very difficult to measure them in kilometers. So we use the word light year. Okay, so 1 light year is equals to 9.461 into 10 to the power of 15 if we express in meters. If it is in kilometer, it is 9.461 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers. If it is in miles, it is again 5.879 into 10 to the power of 12 miles. So with respect to kilometer, it is 9.461 into 10 to the power of 12. So with respect to meters, it is again 9.461 into 10 to the power of 15. Okay. So here the question, all the options are given in the kilometer. So the correct option is B, 9.461 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers. Okay. So this is all about the today's session. So we have discussed the 25 questions in detail along with the deep basic explanation. Hope you guys enjoyed this session. So for more updates, keep watching the Uttar Academy YouTube channel.